Today we're gonna learn a little bit about slide guitar. Slide for the non-sliders. You're all probably familiar with the sound of a slide guitar. You hear it a lot in Delta blues, country, alt country. It is a unique guitar technique. Slide guitar is an awesome technique that can sound really beautiful, but it can be really intimidating to get into and really different from playing regular guitar. So today, I'm gonna give you all the tips and tricks that you need to get started, what to look out for when buying your first slides, as well as some lessons and licks to get you going on your slide journey. Start off on the right foot and sounding good from day one. First things first, you're gonna need a slide. So they make them out of different materials. I have a few here. What do I got? I have a chrome slide, metal, right? You see chrome, you see brass. I've got a glass slide. And then I've got Joe Perry's ceramic boneyard slide. Chrome and brass, these are kind of bright, bratty, almost trashier, nasty sounding. Glass is a smoother sounding slide, and same with ceramic and porcelain. The materials do all sound different. Chrome and brass are definitely like brighter sounding. Glass can be smoother or warmer sounding. But when you're first getting into slide, the most important thing that I've found for me and for my students is finding one that really fits your finger. You don't want one that's way too big, like this for example. So you can see how much room we have. So I have a lot less control. Even when I'm gripping it, it still just doesn't feel comfortable. Slide guitar is a lot like singing. We need precise intonation. It's important to get a slide that actually fits your finger. Speaking of that, you can play slide with your ring finger, with your pinky. I like playing slide on my pinky because it leaves these three fingers open to do other stuff. So a couple differences between playing slide guitar and fretting a normal guitar as you would. We're not gonna push in. One thing that I see all the time is when you're playing with a slide, people wanna push down. You let the weight of the slide do the work, and you just sort of float over the string. Also, you want to be right over the center bar, right over the fret, I should say. That'll be in tune. If we drift from that, that'll be out of tune. We can shift from side to side for a little vibrato. And we want to be completely parallel to the fret if we're playing chords. That'll keep us in tune. If we're not parallel, that'll be out of tune. You can hear that there, right? Other than that, we're not gonna play with a pick. We're gonna use our fingers because the strings that we're not actively playing, we're gonna be muting with the fingers on our picking hand. So if I'm playing the D string, I'll play that with my thumb, and my right hand is muting the other strings. If I'm playing the G string, I'll pluck that with my index finger. And you can see my thumb is muting D, my middle finger is muting B. And then you can also see that my three fingers behind the slide are just laying on top of these strings to mute them. So let's try just getting some notes out with our slide. We're gonna slide into the 7th fret of D really quick. We'll try that on G. Then we'll try that on B. Cool. Now let's try all of them together. Alrighty, let's learn some licks. To play an open G, we tune our guitars down to a low D. Our A string goes down to a G. D string stays on a D. G string stays on a G. B string stays on a B. And then our high E goes down to a D. So this right here is just an open G major chord. So if I go like this, that whole thing is just a G major chord. We're gonna go from 7 to 5 on our high E string, then 5 to 7 on B, and then 7 on G. And remember, as soon as we're done with one string, we just touch it with our picking hand. and that'll stop that note from ringing out. We can move this over to different chords. Cool, and last one for open G, triplet lick up here, 12th fret. So 12 on the G, B, and E strings. And then we're gonna slide from 12 to 11 on the B string. And then end on 12 on G. So all together. When we're in standard, obviously you're playing the same notes as normal. We're just using a slide to play them, so the same slide rules apply. But one thing to keep in mind is how we would play chords with a slide. So an easy way to play minor chords would look like this. Barring the top 3 strings, right? So this 1 fret on the G, B, and E strings. Like this would be an A minor chord. Here's C minor, D minor. And then if we wanted to make a major chord, we could do that same thing, but on the D, G, and B string. So here would be like a C major. And you can think of that as part of this cage system voicing. C in the A shape. We're just taking these pieces right here. So, to get you into my recommendations for my favorite slides, I do actually really like this Joe Perry ceramic slide. You can never go wrong with the Dunlop glass slide. And I love these Ernie Ball ceramic slides because they have a padding inside. They come in small, medium, and large. These are the most comfortable slides to play because they have rubber in the center. And they sound really good. Those are my recommendations for slides. If you have any questions, hit me up. Let me know in the comments which slide material you think sounds best. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in more guitar playing lessons and tutorials, we have all of that over on our Patreon page and our Instagram, ShredLessons. Let's hang out.